Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden. Welcome back to another video. Now, we got some big news relating to a new episode that's coming out in less than a week. But before we hop into that, we got a new Miraculous movie image, so I'm going to show that to you. Now, I'm sure you have all already seen this image, but in case there's one of you out there who hasn't, here it is. It is a new image of Marinette and Chloe. Chloe being like, Marinette, why are you doing this or something? That's probably not right. I don't know. She's probably just pestering Marinette, being like, Marinette, why are you going to school? I don't even like you. Something like that. So, yeah, there's that. I really like Chloe's design in the movie. I think they translated it perfectly from the actual show. Plus, not to mention her hair just looks amazing. I mean, the hair in everyone's model looks really good, but I'm just saying it looks really good on Chloe especially. So they did a really good job with her. All right, now that we've talked about that, let's go ahead and get into the big news, the reason why you're clicking on this video. A new episode title that's called Hack-san. Not entirely sure why the san is added on there. San, the way it's added right now just makes it look like the Japanese san, which I don't know if that's what it is, but that's the only guess I can make right now. So it's Hack-san, hack as in like hacking into a computer, san as in just a thing that you add to the end of a name to make it like more formal, I guess. I don't know. So just hack, I guess, is what the anyway, that doesn't matter. That's just what the new episode is. Now, this episode is airing next week on September 14th on Gloob, and we got a new trailer for it. Oh, the time, by the way, is Gloob's usual time. I always forget to say this. It's 6:30 p.m. EST, so we can expect to see that later in the night on Tuesday of next week. Now, Gloob, like usual, did release a trailer for this episode, so I will leave a link to that down in the description below. I'm not going to play it here, so you can go check that out. Now, with that being said, I will go ahead and talk about this trailer because that's sort of what I do here. So, basically, Marinette is going to London with her family, and, you know, she's worried that, oh, since I'll be gone, Ladybug won't be here, so what do I do? Actually, Alia goes up to her and says this, and in response, Marinette's like, oh, okay, well, you're here. You can just be Ladybug, right? You got that, right? And then Alia's like, oh, shoot, I wasn't ready for this. I was thinking maybe you do the Pegasus thing, like you did before. Or just fly back or something, or just leave Cat Noir to it, you know? Like you did in the New York special. But whatever. The specials don't count for anything anyway, because they're technically canon, but they don't talk about it ever outside of the actual show. So, or they don't talk about it outside of the actual special. So nowhere in the show do they mention those specials, so I don't know. But anyway, Marinette's just like, here you go, Alia, take the Miraculous, and then Alia just doesn't know what to do, I guess. Now, the main akumatized victim of this episode is Markov. But, you know, the show's got to be creative to, you know, still reuse the old villains, but not make the episode just the same as like, oh, Robustus Part 2, you know, like they did in Season 2, and everyone got mad because it was like, oh man, it's just Stormy Weather 2. Although Stormy Weather 2 is actually bad. So, yeah, so they were like, okay, let's actually try to mix up the names here so that way people aren't like, wow, you didn't try at all. So I think what this name is referring to, Hack-san, I think that's actually referring to the little device that Gabriel has and is putting into the tablet. I think that's actually a Senti monster. Don't know for sure, but that'd just be my guess. And somehow the Senti monster was able to hack into Markov, and I don't know if this allowed Hawkmoth to akumatize him or Markov. I don't really know what's going on because he's treated like he's akumatized, but I don't know if that's actually what happened. Maybe he was just affected by the Senti monster. Could just be the Senti monster. Now, the reason why I'm against sort of that happening is because how are they going to beat it, right? Because the Hack-san is just like a USB device. So how is Ladybug, I guess in this case Alia, supposed to beat a device that Gabriel has? Which is actually a very smart move. Just have it remotely controlled so that way you can't beat it, but I don't know. I feel like somehow it controls Markov and allows him to be akumatized or something. I don't know what they're gonna do. We didn't see that, so so I guess we'll just have to find out what they end up doing. Now, the majority of what we saw in this trailer was actually people, essentially what Markov's power here is he commands people to give them their most precious item. So, you know, everyone was freaking out over Mark and Nathaniel because Mark's precious item was Nathaniel, if I'm not getting those two backwards. I think that's right. So everyone was freaking out over that. And then obviously Marinette's parents' most precious item was Marinette. So they were like, come here, Marinette. And that's sort of the whole plot point with, you know, Alia getting the Ladybug Miraculous is Marinette's just not there. So they have to have Ladybug somehow. So, you know, they were just like, all right, let's let this be Alia's time to shine and let her have some of the action. So I think it's gonna be a good episode. Now, I did want to put out there that this episode is, in fact, before Cat Noir learns their identities. At least as far as like Alia and Nino's, this is before Rocketeer, so he didn't, you know, have that, you know, breakdown of like, oh my gosh, Alia's Rena Rouge and Nino is Carapace and all this and that. So he doesn't actually know this yet, so just keep that in mind. We're still building up to that point, so, you know, I'm really excited to see where they take that arc, but if I can even call it an arc, I don't know. I'm just excited to see how Cat Noir's like pent-up anger is going to be released at some point, because it's gonna have to be, right? So that might be the big finale pinpoint thing, or maybe it's another episode, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But just keep in mind, this is before Rocketeer and all that stuff. So just want to point that out there. But yeah, I think that's really all I had to say about this. The trailer was like a minute long, but I honestly didn't really have too much to talk about because it was a lot of just, you know, them trying to capture Marinette and be like, oh, give me your most precious item. So yeah, there wasn't all that much to talk about. I did go through the things on my list, so if I forgot anything, by all means, please let me know down in the comments below. And without any further ado, that'll be the end of this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.